Once, there was a game that was fairly decently average, to be perfectly honest, but that game fell into mystery, until now, when the heir to the throne takes its place, by basically being the same game with only a few good changes that makes it a really good game. Titanfall 2. Now, while Titanfall 1 has clearly died out, I have to pay respects to the dead game. It did something really unique with mech and ground-based combat, and it was very fast-paced and very flashy, and honestly a really quick favorite of mine once I picked it up. But this video is not about Titanfall. This video is about Titanfall 2. With the standard price tag of $60, as well as it being released right next to Battlefield 1, this game had to do a lot of impressive stuff for what it was, and it lived up to my every expectation, even though I set mine pretty low now after No Man's Sky's disaster. But I digress. The game was hit with an immense graphical upgrade, which is to be expected, but this game is just plain pretty. You gotta be killing in high definition nowadays. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm fairly good at this game. Okay, I'm not that good, but I truly find enjoyment in this game, and now I'm gonna break it down. So let's talk about this game for a little bit. The core mechanics are pretty similar to the original. You're just a highly mobile pilot with weapons designed to either take down other players or other titans. Or you're a behemoth titan with heavy weapons that can kill titans just as easily as pilots. Nowadays, the player, I've noticed, has a lot more control on the battlefield. And I've seen that pilots have a lot more power and influence than they used to. A pilot can sway the time of a game just as a titan can through the use of sneaky tactics and mobility. Like in the first game, you can grapple onto titans. It doesn't matter if they're friend or foe. When on an enemy titan, you can deal massive damage as long as they don't use some form of countermeasure to deter you. Titans now come with a percentage system instead of a timer, so it's more focused on how well you do and decides when you get your titan, which is a nice touch. There are now many pilot abilities including stim rush, sonar detection, teleportation, and my personal favorite, the grappling hook. It's honestly so fun to zip around the map, and now the grapple hook can get you out of tight spots, which is very, very handy. And now, on to the thing that makes it different from its predecessor, the story. So basically, this guy's like, hey man, you're a lower rank than me, but I see some kind of shit potential in you, so go do this weird ass court to get good. So you run the course, and then you fail, because it's way too hard, and you say, nah man, and then this planet's going to attack, and you're like, so much destruction, it's like, and then you go up to this guy, and it's like, that's not very nice, so you could stop destroying the planet please, and he's like, nah. So you're about to get killed, and this guy comes in like, yeah man, I got you, and then he dies, and you take his time, and you're like, you ain't my guy, friend. And you say, well, you're not my friend, guy, and then the relationship can be pretty shaky at times, but the OTP is still real. So basically that's the beginning of the story. I'm not going to spoil anything because that would ruin the ride, but to be honest it's fairly sappy, but it's pretty good, I gotta admit. I got a full day out of it, so honestly it wasn't that bad of a story. It was interesting and had a good amount of content, and honestly it was pretty okay I guess. It wasn't anything special, but it wasn't really like that bad. All in all, this game actually really did impress me. I wasn't really expecting much of it, especially because it's fairly like high price, and you know, a lot of games nowadays don't really meet up to the expectation that it is. But Titanfall 2 actually did impress me for once. It had some really good moments, it had some really cool moments as well. You know, it's really fun to go and be a Titan, to smack around people, to shoot people. It's honestly one of my favorite FPSs nowadays. And so right now I give this game a solid 4 out of 5 for its pretty good visual. It's extremely, actually very good visuals, great gameplay, good amount of replayability with its multiplayer modes, and actually it's not dying. It's actually going fairly strong, which I'm really happy about. So I hope this was or at least fairly handy guide to this, and
She got me like